The Screen Act threatens privacy far beyond adult websites. Now, this is the regulation that we all have seen coming, but no one realized that the proposals would actually come forward this fast. You may know in the UK, there's the social media ban and the Online Safety Act. Basically, the Online Safety Act requires age verification to view adult content on platforms where adult content is primarily most prevalent, i.e. pornographic websites. Now, what's happened is the US have looked at this. This is insane. They've looked at this and thought, we can make that worse. And the bill that they've put forward means that if you're using the internet, most websites, including things like Netflix, will require you right now to verify your age with a passport or government ID. This isn't clickbait. This isn't rage bait. This isn't any of those things. This is exactly what's happening, and we're going to cover it in today's video. Before we kick this off, I want to give you all a solution to this problem: VPNs. Using my link down below, you can check out Private Internet Access VPN. With that link, you get 4 months free and 86% off. And very simply, you open the VPN, you turn it on, you choose a location, which is one of their 91 countries, and you can access your platforms and services as normal. On top of that, it's all encrypted. All of your internet traffic going through that VPN is encrypted, so private internet access can't access it, and also governments and private corporations can't access it also. So check the link down below to help keep you protected online, and it's also the best way to support the channel. Right, so let's talk about this. The Senate Commerce Committee is set to consider S737, the Screen Act, a sweeping age verification bill that would require online services to verify users' ages before they can access any sexually explicit content. If this bill passes, it will force millions of adult internet users to give up their anonymity, privacy, and security before they access lawful speech. Now, you may be watching this thinking, wow, that's just porn websites. It's not. Unlike many state age verification laws, which have been harmful in their own right, the Screen Act has no requirement that a significant portion of the website consists of sexually explicit content that is harmful to minors. This bill requires nearly any service hosting even a single piece of sexually explicit content to verify the ages of its users. The result is that the bill would apply to not only adult sites like Pornhub or OnlyFans, but also streaming services like Netflix and social media platforms like Reddit, Discord, Blue Sky, if they host any adult content. Now, we know that all social media platforms have a certain segment of adult content. Now, the adult content is categorized in the US as partial nudity. So this can be things like bikini photos. That's classed as partial nudity. Now, you can have that as your profile picture on Facebook, so it also apply to that also. The Screen Act does not merely require users to attest they are adults, it specifically states that requiring a user to confirm that the user is not a minor should not be sufficient. In practice, that means that platforms will have to verify users' ages using methods tied to their real identities. Providing proof of age online is dramatically different and far more invasive than showing your ID at the door to a bartender or bouncer. And this is something that's really important to talk about. A lot of people say that you have to verify your age to buy alcohol, cigarettes, and all this stuff, but there is such a massive difference that it seems like most politicians happily ignore. When you verify your age to buy alcohol, you pull out your driving license or your passport, you show it to the guy, he looks at the date on it and goes, yeah, all right, you put it back in your pocket. It's not recorded, saved, pictures taken of it, nothing like that. That data is not stored, shared, or backed up anywhere. It's a one-on-one human interaction, and usually these interactions are people within your community, people that you can hold to account if they did take a picture of your driving license, not that they would anyway. This is massively different than getting in a third-party age verification company like Persona, which is, Polanta, all of that. So you can do your own research. This is vastly different from them coming in and storing, saving, sharing, and even training their own AI algorithms on your passports. It's vastly different, and it's an entirely different conversation, and the fact that many politicians say it's the same thing is just disingenuous to say the least. The consequences of the bill won't be limited to minors. If websites and apps are expected to reliably identify teenagers, adults will be asked to prove they are adults. And this is the thing as well. We see it with every single regulation, and I've done literally hundreds of videos on this on the Cyber Waffle channel, my UK channel. They can say, look, we want to protect this subset of people, the children, just here. But in reality, it means that every single legal adult will have to verify their age and hand over their identity to utilize the internet. Now, the truth is, a vast vast majority of people aren't using VPNs. So not only have they handed over their passport to use the internet, all of their internet traffic can be tied to them, their address, all of their private information, their online browsing experience, and I can 1,000,000% guarantee that governments will use that data to collect data on how people utilize platforms and services, because the government's interested in that, because that is the pièce de résistance of propaganda tools. And this is where things just get worse. The Screen Act also targets virtual private network users and providers. The bill requires covered websites to verify users' ages based on their IP addresses unless the service can determine that the user is outside of the United States, and specifically requires age verification on traffic coming from known VPN addresses. In practice, this discourages the use of VPNs and proxy servers, which millions of people rely on for legitimate purposes such as protecting personal privacy, securing public Wi-Fi connections, and safeguarding journalists and activists and preventing data trafficking. Right, this is important. So there's actually one line in this thing which makes me feel kind of comfortable. Known VPN addresses. Now, when you use a VPN, say if I open my VPN and decide to put myself in, I don't know, Vietnam right now, there will be multiple VPN addresses for Vietnam servers. Now, what they can say is that if a social media platform is operating in the US, if they detect traffic from a VPN, then that traffic must be blocked because it's a known VPN server. But in reality, and not a lot of people talk about this, most of the big 4 VPN providers and private internet access, they're continually changing their IP addresses. So yes, every 3rd or 4th or 5th visit to an app, it might just say that you can't access the platform. Give it like 10 minutes and you'll be able to do it, or you just change what VPN IP you're using. And I'm not condoning that people bypass the law and regulation. No, you've got to be sensible. But there is absolutely no way that they can enforce this because other governments have tried and failed. Some of the strictest countries in the world that have VPN laws have not managed to stop people using VPNs. So I don't think that this bit is as big of an issue, but it's still crazy that they even want to try and do it. So yeah, that's what's happening in the US at the moment. Now, to be 100% clear, this hasn't passed yet. This has to go through the Senate Commerce Committee. However, 2 members of that committee have already voiced how amazing they think this bill is, and a lot of the Senate's, to be honest, there's been so much support for this that I don't see this not passing. I fundamentally think that this will get passed. There's a lot of acts at the moment that are being considered all in quick succession, and that's why you need to subscribe so you can stay up to date with what's happening with your digital privacy. Anyway, thank you for watching. Check out Private Internet Access VPN at the link down below, and I shall see you all in the next video.